Hello again. It's me. I just like to do another science video today, if that's all right. So yes, I just want to show you this very quickly. I want to just cover quite a few topics today to do with science. I'd like you to look at this, please. Thank you, if you don't mind. And then I'll go through it. Wavelengths, as you know, is NM. The units are nanometers. Frequency, it's THZ, and I'm just doing the visible spectrum and the THZ units. And then, of course, you've got photon energy as well in the electromagnetic spectrum. And I just wanted to show you that, and the colours and the different numbers there. Lovely. Thank you for looking at that. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's a 405 for the red. And I've got, yeah, just wanted you to see it. 530, 600 for green, 510 to 530 for yellow, 620 to 670 blue. Yeah, I just wanted to show that to you. 670 to 790 for violet. Just wanted to show 405 to 484 red. Thank you. I just wanted you to see that. Thank you very much. And I just want to write down a sum very quickly for you. Just very quickly. If I just write this down. Right. I've just written this down for you. And there are a couple of ways of doing this sum. You could say 3 times 60 falls into 180. And you could do it that way. And actually, is it 5 4s are 20, 4 4s are... Yeah, it's 45, isn't it? The answer is 45. Just wanted to show that to you. And but you could do it another way. So you could actually multiply the top out and then say 4 into 180. And there's another way of doing it as well. You've got another option here. You could just say 4 diagonally. 4 and 60, you could go like that once, 15. So you say 4s into 60, and then it's that way. So you've got 1, you cancel it down, so the 4 becomes 1 and the 60 becomes 15. And then you say 3 times 15, 45 over 1. So there are 2 ways of doing that, actually. I just wanted to show you. Thank you for looking at that. Thank you. Thanks. Thank you. What else? Let me just see what other things I want to talk. Yeah, I think it wouldn't be a bad thing just to look up things like, or, you know, if you want to do some work, you could always look up words like biotin, folic acid. And maybe riboflavin as well. Just look these words up. If you just look those words up, yeah. And what else? And now I just want to do some other things with you today, if that's all right. Just a minute. Right, I just want to show you something here. Just very quickly, I'm going to just write something down for you. Right. For the neutron, which has no charge, it consists of one up quark and two down quarks. So I just want to show you that. The neutron there, you've got one up quark and two down quarks. So you've got the down quark at the top, and then you've got the down quark at the bottom for the neutron there. Thank you for looking at that. And I'm going to show you, I'm just going to write down do the positively charged proton now. Right, this is the proton on the right and the neutrons on the left. And right, and I just want to show you here. For the proton, you've got two up quarks and one down quark. And the up quark, one of the quarks is one of the up quarks is high up, and there's another up quark that's at the bottom there. So I just wanted to show that to you. So the proton consists of two up quarks and one down quark, and the neutron consists of two down quarks and one up quark. And they've got gluons as well, Gluon as well. So I just wanted to show you that. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for looking at that. Thank you. Thank you. Another thing I want to say to you is that most electromagnetic radiation from space is unable to reach the surface of the Earth, and so the harmful ultraviolet light, is the ozone layer blocks the harmful ultraviolet light reaching us. Reaching the troposphere where we live, and so the harmful ultraviolet light is intercepted. It's stopped from reaching planet Earth. Not reaching planet Earth. Sorry, that it's in planet Earth, but it's no, that's not right. But the ultraviolet light. The stratosphere prevents the harmful ultraviolet light from reaching us, in the troposphere. So I just wanted to say that. So the harmful ultraviolet light is stopped because the ozone layer is in the stratosphere, and it stops the harmful ultraviolet light reaching the troposphere where we live, if you like. I just wanted to say that to you. So. That's right. So the stratosphere stops. The stratosphere stops the harmful ultraviolet light reaching us where we live, if you like. So I just wanted to say that to you. And then the ozone layer is in the stratosphere, and it stops. And the ozone layer stops harmful ultraviolet light reaching us. That's what I wanted to say. So where we live. In the troposphere, I think. I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for listening to that. And also, just another thing I want to write down. Thank you for listening to me today. Just want to write something else down as well. Right. If I just write this down. Right, I want to show you this. This actually is, what I'm going to show you is denatured alcohol. This sterile alcohol, STEARYL alcohol, and it's not fit for human consumption because it's denatured, so it would make you ill if you had it, like methylated spirits. And I just want to show you that. So there are two different ways of coming to the same answer. The formulas are written in a different way, but they come to the same answer. So the bottom one is carbon is C18, H38, and one atom of oxygen. And the top one at the top is another way of doing it, and it comes to the same answer. And that one is it's the STEARYL alcohol, which is denatured, so it's not fit for human consumption. So CH3, and then in brackets you've got CH2, and then you've got 16 outside the brackets, CH2OH. So it's quite self-explanatory there. Just wanted to show you that. Yeah, thank you for looking at that. Thank you very much. Thank you. And another one another denatured alcohol is spelled CETYL alcohol, CETYL alcohol, and that's another denatured one. I just wanted to show you. Thank you for that. Right, there's one other thing I want to write down. Right, I've just written this here. Butane and propane. And I've done the chemical formulas. Thank you for looking at that. Thanks. 3 atoms of carbon, 8 of hydrogen, 4 atoms of carbon, 10 atoms of hydrogen. So one of them's 3,8, the other's 4,10. Thank you for that. Right, thank you for looking at that. What else? Just a minute. Right, another thing I want to say again today, another thing I want to say. I just want to talk about ATP, ATP is critical, ATP is critical for ATP is critical for muscle contraction because it breaks the myosin-actin cross bridges. So ATP is critical for muscle contraction because it breaks the myosin-actin, to break the cross bridge to break the cross bridge and enable the myosin to rebind to actin at the next muscle contraction. So I just wanted to say that to you. So to break the cross bridge and enable the myosin to rebind to actin at the next muscle contraction. And also one of them, I think, something to do with thick and thin filaments, isn't it? And one of them, the myosin and the actin, one of them's the thin filament and the other one's the thick filament. And there's another word I'm going to write down. Right, I just want to write this down for you. That's sarcomere. Thank you for looking at that, sarcomere. Thank you. Yeah, it's something to do with thin and thick, thick filament. When thin filament and slides past the thick filament. Right, so when ATP binds to an ATP binding domain on the myosin head, it causes the myosin to dissociate. It causes the myosin to dissociate from the actin, breaking the cross bridge. Right, myosin, that's the way I've done it, and actin, actin. Thank you for looking at that. Thank you. Right, so a cross bridge forms between actin and the myosin heads, triggering contraction. A muscle can start contracting when it runs out of ATP. And the continuously, as it is a site of right, you've got the thin and thick filaments overlap. Something to do with that. It's very important to muscle contraction as it is the site. That's right. Many cross bridges form and break continuously. Many cross bridges form and break continuously during muscle contraction. So I just wanted you to see that. Yeah, it wouldn't be a bad thing to look up rigor mortis as well, because that explains it, and that you might find that interesting if you look up rigor mortis. So thank you for that. Okay then, so yeah. Thanks. Thank you for that. Right. Another thing I want to talk about now, I want to just say, right, plasma is a yellow fluid. I'm going to just talk about blood now. Plasma is a yellow fluid. It consists of mainly water but has many substances dissolved in it. These include soluble food, salts, carbon dioxide, urea, hormones, antibodies and plasma proteins. Its function is to transport these substances around the body. For example, soluble food from the small intestine to the liver for storage and all cells for respiration. Urea from the liver to the kidneys for removal. So that's from the liver to the kidneys for removal. Carbon dioxide from the cells to the lungs for removal. So from the cells to the lungs for removal with carbon dioxide. Plasma proteins such as fibrinogen travel to the site of a cut and along with the platelets clot the blood. So I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for that, lovely. Thank you for listening to me. Right, another thing I just want to quickly talk about. Right, I want to just mention to do with the heart part 2, because I just want to say something to you about this. The systole, the stage of the cardiac cycle in which the atria contract, followed by the ventricles, forcing blood out of the right side of the heart to the lungs, and the left side of the heart to the body. So I just want to repeat that again. systole, the stage of the cardiac cycle in which the atria contract, followed by the ventricles, forcing blood out of the right side of the heart to the lungs and the left side of the heart to the body. So I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for listening to that. Right, the left ventricle. Right, the left ventricle. So the left ventricle also fills with oxygenated blood. When both the atrium and ventricle are full, the atrium contracts, forcing all the oxygenated blood into the left ventricle. The left ventricle then contracts and pumps oxygenated blood through semilunar valves into the aorta and around the body. As the ventricle contracts, the tricuspid valve closes, preventing any backflow of blood. So I just wanted to say that to you. In diastole, the heart relaxes. The atria and then the ventricles fill with blood. The volume and pressure of the blood in the heart build as the heart fills, but the pressure in the arteries is at a minimum. In systole, the atria, S-Y-S-T-O-L-E, in systole, the atria contract, atrial systole, closely followed by the ventricles, ventricular systole. The pressure inside the heart increases dramatically, and blood is forced out of the right side of the heart to the lungs, and from the left side to the main body and from the left side to the main body circulation. The volume and pressure of the blood in the heart are low at the end of systole, and the blood pressure in the arteries is at its maximum. So I just want to say it again to you. In systole, the atria contract, atrial systole, closely followed by the ventricles, ventricular systole. The pressure inside the heart increases dramatically, and blood is forced out of the right side of the heart to the lungs, and from the left side to the main body circulation. The volume and pressure of the blood in the heart are low at the end of systole, and the blood pressure in the arteries is at its maximum. So I just wanted to say that to you. And also, just another thing I want to talk about today, to do with the kidneys as well. The first stage in removal of nitrogenous waste of blood is ultrafiltration, I think. And the glomerulus is, I think that's are they the blood capillaries or something? Glomerulus. I think they might be. So I'm just going to write some words down for you here. Right, sorry, thank you for this. Thank you. Thanks, let me just... So I'll write those words down for you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh. And I think also leptons, L-E-P-T-O-N-S, don't the electrons come from leptons? I think something like that. Electrons derive, or they come from leptons. So yeah, that's the leptons the electrons come from the electrons come from the electrons come from the leptons or something like that. So I think they're involved somehow. There's a link between electrons and leptons. So I just thought I'd say that to you. Thank you for that. Let's just see what else. write something else down for you now. Right, I think, just want to say something about vaccination. People who, with Edward Jenner, who pioneered vaccinations, he was the pioneer, and then people obviously came after him and improved the ideas. That's what always happens with pioneers. That they come along and they're the first ones. And then the people improve on the pioneer. But the pioneer is very, very important, because without the pioneer you can't improve on the ideas. But so vaccination against smallpox. So he noticed that people who had cowpox didn't get smallpox, and smallpox was a killer. But people who had cowpox were immune to smallpox. Just wanted to say that to you. Yeah, thank you for that. And another thing, I'm just going to write something else down for you now. Right, just want to write some things down for you. Yeah, I just want to write these things down. Just want to write some of those things down. But these are bones here. You've got humerus, which I think is at the arm. I think radius, isn't that the arm? Ulnar's the wrist. Carpal, metacarpal, fibula, which is fibula's below the knee, isn't it? And tibia, I think that's below the knee as well, isn't it? And the 12th rib. I've just written those down for you. Thank you. Yeah, so I think carpal and metacarpal are those near the hand, aren't they? Just want you to let me just see. Yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Thank you very much. Thank you. I've just written that down. Sternum, isn't that the breastbone or something? I think it might be. just want to show you that. Thank you very much. Coccyx, isn't that the base of the back or something? Femur, I think that's above the knee, isn't it? Patella is the knee, isn't it? The knee bone or something. And FEMUR is above the knee, I think. Tarsal and metatarsal bones, they're near the feet, aren't they, I think? Lovely, thank you for looking at that. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. Very quick, thanks. Right, just want to say some other things now. Antagonistic hormones. Well, hormones with opposite effects on the body and which work in opposition to regulate some process, e.g., control of blood glucose. So I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to say that to you. So antagonistic hormones with opposite effects on the body and which work in opposition to regulate some process, e.g., control of blood glucose. Endocrine gland, one of many ductless glands throughout the body that secrete and respond to hormones. So, endocrine gland, one of many ductless glands throughout the body that secrete and respond to hormones. Now, GLUCAGON, a hormone secreted by the pancreas that raises blood glucose levels. So the glucagon is a hormone secreted by the pancreas that raises blood glucose levels. Hypothalamus, HYPOTHALAMUS. It is I think it's something an endocrine gland located at the base of the brain which secretes at least 9 hormones. I think it's something to do with that. The hypothalamus. I think I could be warm there. An endocrine gland located at the base of the brain which secretes at least 9 hormones. Insulin. A hormone secreted by the pancreas that lowers blood glucose levels. That's right. So, insulin, a hormone secreted by the pancreas that lowers blood glucose levels. Liver. Now I'm going to do the definition of liver now. I think a large organ with a central role in carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. That's right. So G for the liver, it's a large organ with a central role in carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. Pancreas, an abdominal organ with both exocrine and endocrine function. So I just want to say it again. So the pancreas, an abdominal organ with both exocrine and endocrine function. Pituitary gland. Now, I think is that an endocrine gland located at the base of the brain which secretes at least 9 hormones? It's a bit. One of them, actually, the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, and I'm not sure. My definition of hypothalamus, and I'm not sure whether the pituitary gland is an endocrine gland. So I think the hypothalamus. I'm not sure whether that was the right definition. Now I'm not sure. But the pituitary gland that's an endocrine gland located at the base of the brain which secretes at least 9 hormones. So I think that's the right definition for pituitary gland. I'm not sure. Hypothalamus I think, is it hypothalamus, a region of the brain, a region of the brain with an important role in linking the nervous with linking the nervous and endocrine systems? Is that the one? So is the hypothalamus the one with a region of the brain with an important role in linking the nervous and endocrine systems? A region of the brain with an important role in linking the nervous and endocrine systems. Yeah, I think that's right. I'm not sure the hypothalamus should be paired up with the endocrine gland located at the base of the brain, which secretes at least 9 hormones. That's the pituitary one. The pituitary gland, I'm sure, is an endocrine gland located at the base of the brain, which secretes at least 9 hormones. So the endocrine gland, the pituitary gland, that's the right one for that one. But hypothalamus, no, no, it's not the endocrine gland. That's not right. Located. I said I was warm, but it's a process of elimination, isn't it? So yeah, it's sometimes it's easy to get, a few things. There's definitions slightly if they're in the same area, but you can still get something wrong. So yeah, right. Let me just say another thing. Bacterial cells contain a primitive origin compared to animal cells. That's right. So bacterial cells contain a primitive origin compared to animal cells. Bacterial ribosomes are smaller than the animal's ribosomes. Also, cells contain membrane-bound organelles like a nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus. So that's Golgi, Golgi apparatus. So yeah, the animal one has contains membrane-bound organelles like nucleus, mitochondria, Golgi apparatus. And on the contrary, the bacterial cells lack membrane-bound organelles. Bacterial chromosomes are localized to an area in the cytoplasm called as NUCLEOID. So I just want to write that down. NUCLEOID. Just let me write that down for you. And there's another one that animal cells contain. Another word here, another technical word. CEN, centrioles. I'm going to write this down, centrioles. And I'm just going to write that down, centrioles. And just want to quickly write this down. That's only in animal cells. Thank you for looking at that. Thanks. And that one's to do with bacteria. That's connect. That word there, the N word, NUCLEOID. That's to do with bacteria. Thank you. And the top one's that's for animals. Thank you. Thank you for looking at that. Thanks. Right. And another thing I want to say, the bacterial cell has a cell wall, cell membrane, genes in. I think the genes are in the cytoplasm. Yeah. So they're not in the nucleus, the genes, but they're in the cytoplasm for the bacterial cells. No nucleus, as we know, but they're in the cytoplasm, the genes. Just wanted to say that. Thank you for that. Thanks. And a couple more things I want to talk about now. Right. So let's just talk about A nucleus controls all the chemical reactions that take place inside the cell. The nucleus also contains all the information needed to produce a new living organism. So the cytoplasm, where all the chemical reactions take place. Now, in eukaryotic cells, as you know, the chemical reactions take place in the cytoplasm, in the mitochondria, in eukaryotic cells. But in bacterial cells, like prokaryotic ones, single-celled, aren't they? I think there's, bacterial cells are single-celled, aren't they? I think they are, and they don't have a mitochondria, so the chemical reactions take place in the cytoplasm for them. But so prokaryotics don't have a mitochondria. But eukaryotics have a mitochondria, so the cytoplasm. So prokaryotics have the cytoplasm, and the eukaryotics have the mitochondria. So eukaryotics have a mitochondria as well as a cytoplasm, and the prokaryotics only have a cytoplasm. They don't have a mitochondria. So I just wanted to say that to you. So cytoplasm, where all the chemical reactions take place. Cell membrane controls what passes in and out of the cell. Cell wall made of cellulose, CELLULOSE, which gives a plant cell strength and support. Vacuole contains a weak solution of salt and sugar called cell sap. The vacuole also gives the cell support. Chloroplasts contains a green substance called chlorophyll. That's right. So chloroplasts contain a green substance called chlorophyll. This absorbs the sun's energy, so that the plant can make its own food during photosynthesis. Things that animal and plant cells have in common: well, they have a nucleus, they have a cytoplasm, and they have a cell membrane. And I think that's so. Nucleus, cytoplasm, and cell membrane, which is that they have that in common, both animal and plant cells. And I think it's referred to those three words: nucleus, cytoplasm, and cell membrane. The nucleus, cytoplasm, and cell membrane are referred to as the protoplasm. And only plant cells have cell wall, a vacuole, and chloroplasts. So I just wanted to say that to you. Right, what substance do chloroplasts contain, and what does it do? So what substance do chloroplasts contain, and what does it do? It contains chlorophyll. It absorbs sunlight for photosynthesis. So chlorophyll is the answer to that one. The question is, and this is the answer: chlorophyll. It absorbs sunlight for photosynthesis. Right, what is the job of the nucleus? It controls all the chemical reactions and contains all the information. So I just wanted to say that to you. So I just wanted to say that. Thank you for listening to me there. Thank you. Right. Thank you for that. Thanks. Right. Another thing I wanted to talk about now. Right, I just want to talk about right, I want to talk about photosynthesis now. Photosynthesis is a chemical process that plants use to make their own. Photosynthesis is a chemical process that plants use to make their food, glucose, using energy from the sun. It occurs in the leaves. Photosynthesis occurs in the light. Respiration occurs all the time. All of the time, yeah. Respiration occurs all of the time. Photosynthesis occurs in the light. So the word equation of photosynthesis, I want to write down the word equation. The word equation of photosynthesis, just going to do that now. Right, the word. Right, that's the word equation for photosynthesis. Thank you for looking at that. Thank you. It's carbon dioxide plus water. CD I put for short. It's carbon CO2, I suppose. That'd probably be better, wouldn't it, to say if it was for short CO2. 1 atom of carbon, 2 atoms of oxygen. Plus water, and then you've got the arrow light and chlorophyll, and then you've got glucose and oxygen. So it's in that order. I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for that. And that's photosynthesis. And right, I just wanted to say that to you. Right, okay, and just want to say the leaf, the organ of photosynthesis, the leaf. Carbon dioxide enters the leaf through tiny holes in the underside of the leaf by diffusion. The holes are called stomata. S-T-O-M-A-T-A. And I think also diffusion in some situations, isn't it when you get cooking and stuff like that, when you diffuses and you can smell the food in another room. That's I think that's to do with diffusion, isn't it? That's from a high concentration to low concentration, something like that. Yeah. So the holes are called stomata. So the carbon dioxide enters the leaf through tiny holes on the underside of the leaf by diffusion. The holes are called stomata. S-T-O-M-A-T-A. The spongy layer of cells has air spaces for the carbon dioxide to circulate and for the exchange of gases. Oxygen produced by photosynthesis diffuses out through the stomata. Some is retained for respiration. Chloroplasts are most abundant on the upper surface of the leaf in palisade cells. So chloroplasts are most abundant on the chloroplasts are most abundant on the upper surface of the leaf in palisade cells. Chloroplasts contain chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is a green pigment that absorbs sunlight energy. The veins contain xylem and PHLOEM. I'm going to write this down for you quickly. Right. Right, those are the words that nice easy words to pronounce, aren't they, in biology? That's, yeah, so yeah, I've done those, so that's, thank you for that, lovely, thank you. And I just wanted to show you that. And, right, so, right, okay, so, right, okay then. Inside the leaf are veins. These are continuous with the stem and roots of the plant. The veins contain these words that I've just showed you, XYLEM and PHLOEM. Xylem transports, that's how it's pronounced, transports water from the roots to the leaves. And the other word, PHLOEM, transports the glucose up and down the plant from the leaves to where it is needed, particularly the growing regions, the bud and the storage areas of the roots. So I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for listening to me there. Right, transpiration. The transpiration. The loss of water from the plant's leaves by evaporation is out of the stomata and is called transpiration. So the loss of water from the plant's leaves by evaporation is out of the stomata and is called transpiration. The flow of water up the xylem to the leaves is called the transpiration stream. As water is used up during photosynthesis or lost from the leaves by evaporation, more is drawn up through the roots. The transpiration stream also draws minerals into the plant. So I just wanted to say that to you. Right. Okay then. So what are the tubes called that transport water up the plant to the leaves. It's the xylem. That's what it is. It's that word there. And what are the tubes called that transport food up and down the plant? It's this one here. It's the P word. That word there. Thank you for that. What process absorbs water from the soil? What process absorbs water from the soil? That's osmosis. Where in the plant does evaporation take place? The leaves. What are the holes in the underside of the leaf called? So what are the holes on the underside of the leaf called? Stomata. S-T-O-M-A-T-A. What are the three minerals? What are the three main minerals a plant needs? Nitrates, phosphates, and potassium. Nitrates, phosphates, and potassium. So I just wanted to say that to you. Which type of cell contains many chloroplasts? Well, that's the chloroplast cells. Sorry about that. Which type of cells contain many chloroplasts? The palisade cells, P-A-L-I-S-A-D-E cells. When does photosynthesis take place? And that's in the day. What are the products of photosynthesis? That's water and oxygen. So the products of photosynthesis are water and oxygen, I think. Yeah, it is. What substance does a plant store glucose as? So what substance does a plant store glucose as? That's starch. Thank you for looking at that. Right, and I just want to say something else now. Guard cells surround the stomata and control their opening and closing. So the guard cells surround the stomata, S-T-O-M-A-T-A, and control their opening and closing. When a plant has plenty of water, the guard cells become turgid. Right, sorry. So when a plant has plenty of water, the guard cells become turgid. Right. Most of the photosynthesis takes place in the palisade cells. So most of the photosynthesis takes place in the palisade cells. Palisade cells. I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for that. Thanks. Right, and another thing I want to quickly say, quickly to you now, is just couple more things. Right. Now, I just want to write this down very quickly for you before I wrap things up with you today. Right, I'm going to write down the chemical equation for aerobic respiration. Aerobic, so that's A-E-R, aerobic respiration. That's that there. Right, I just want to quickly write this, show you this now. Right, I just want to show you that. Aerobic respiration, I want to show you that. Thank you for looking at that. So that's, yeah, energy, glucose plus oxygen goes to carbon dioxide and water plus energy. So I've just written, I mean, it's CO2 for CD. I put CD, but CO2 for the purists, I suppose. Yeah, probably a bit naughty for me just to write down that CD. But carbon dioxide, or CO2 if you like, glucose plus oxygen goes to carbon dioxide plus water and energy. I just want you to see it. Thank you for looking at that. Thank you. So I just want to show you that. Thank you for looking at that. Respiration and photosynthesis. The equations are the same, but in opposite directions. So for respiration, you've got glucose plus oxygen, and it goes to carbon dioxide and water. Glucose and oxygen. So with respiration, it's glucose and oxygen goes to carbon dioxide and water. Respiration, glucose and oxygen go to carbon dioxide and water, and it's the other way around for the photosynthesis. Carbon dioxide and water go to the glucose and oxygen. So it's the other way around. Thank you. Yeah, it's a bit like that on that side. Thank you very much. Thank you. Lovely. Thank you very much. Oh. And another thing I want to quickly say to you is respiration without oxygen is called anaerobic respiration. It produces much less energy and does not break down glucose completely. This is the word equation is glucose goes to energy plus lactic acid. So glucose goes to energy plus lactic acid. And that's the anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration. Glucose goes to energy plus lactic acid. Yeah. Glucose goes to energy plus lactic acid. Glucose goes to energy, something like that. Thank you for looking at that. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me there. Yeah, plants carry out both reactions. Photosynthesis for using energy from the sun to make glucose and oxygen in the day, and respiration in both the day and night. Animals use glucose and oxygen, which the plants produce to carry out respiration. Right. So animals use glucose and oxygen, which the plants produce to carry out respiration. There is less carbon dioxide produced in the day as the plants use it up, but at night there is a rise in carbon dioxide as both plants and animals are respiring. Thank you for listening to me there. Thank you. very quickly now. I just want to say a few more things and I'm going to leave you. Right, a couple of I just want to say a couple more things now to you very quickly. Yeah, what is aerobic respiration? Breaking down glucose with oxygen to make energy. So what is aerobic respiration? Breaking down glucose with oxygen to make energy. What is anaerobic respiration? Incomplete breakdown of glucose without oxygen. So it's the incomplete breakdown of glucose without oxygen. What is anaerobic respiration in yeast called? Fermentation. Where does respiration take place? The cytoplasm of cells in the mitochondria. But that's right. What are the waste products of respiration? Water and carbon dioxide. Where does the oxygen come from that enables animals to carry out respiration? So where does the oxygen come from that enables animals to carry out respiration? From plants photosynthesizing. When do plants carry out respiration? When do plants carry out? All the time. Where do plants get the glucose and oxygen they need for respiration? From photosynthesizing, using energy from the sun. Thank you for listening to me there. Yeah, and I just want to say a couple more things now. Yeah, ADH, hormone made by the hypothalamus in the brain. So the ADH is a hormone made by the hypothalamus in the brain and stored in the posterior POSTERIOR pituitary gland, and it tells the kidney how much water to conserve. I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for that. And what else was I going to say? Yeah, a couple of more things. Just wanted to say. Right. Yeah, cytokines. So CYTO, as in cytoplasm. But instead of the plasm bit, it's KINES. Secreted by certain cells of the immune system. So T cells originate in the bone marrow. T cells originate in the bone marrow, and they develop or mature in the thymus. So that's THYMUS. So I just wanted to say that to you. Thank you for that. And one more thing before I leave, before I finish with you today. Right. Right, just one more thing I want to say to you. Actually, yeah, a couple of things. The subclavian artery and veins. I think that's another word for carotid, isn't it? It supplies the. Is it the neck and round here, this part of the body, and the arms? Is it the subclavian artery and vein? I think it's another word for carotid, but I'm not sure about that. And one more thing, and just another thing I want to say before I finish with you today. Right, I want to talk about solar eclipses now. The sun, when you get a solar eclipse and it's dark for about a minute, isn't it, or so? And they happen, and I think they happen every year, but they happen they happen in the water because there's more water, I think, than land. But they do happen over land. Now, how can the moon cover the sun when it is so small? So, yeah, how can the moon cover the sun when it is so small? Because the moon is so much nearer. The moon is about 2,155 miles across, right? So it's the moon in its sort of size, if you like. It's in mileage terms. It's 2,155 miles across, and it's about 240,000 miles away, something like that. You know, it does vary. Sometimes it's nearer. We know that we know that it varies. It's 200. Sometimes it's 238,000 miles away, and sometimes I think it's a bit nearer. Now, the Sun is 100. Well, it's huge. It's absolutely colossal, but it's 150 million miles away. 150 million kilometers away. 93 million miles away. But the size of it, it's huge. It's much bigger than planet Earth. Right, so the interesting thing is the Sun is around 400 times wider than the Moon, right? So it's 400 times wider than the Moon. But it's 400 times further away. So the Moon is 400 times nearer to the planet, to us. So it's 400 times, right, that's right. So I'll just say that, so the Sun is around 400 times wider than the Moon. So the Sun is around 400 times wider than the Moon, but almost 400 times further away. This is why from Earth they look the same size. So yes, so the Sun's 400 times bigger than the Moon, isn't it? That's what it was saying. But but it's 400 times further away. So even though it's huge, you've got just sit here. You've got the Sun is the Sun. Like this is like the Sun. That's the Sun, if you like, and this is the Moon. So the Moon's there and the Sun's there, and the Sun is 400 times further away than the Moon. The Sun is 400 times further away than the Moon, and it's 400 times bigger than the Moon. So because it's much nearer, because the Moon's much nearer to us, it looks like it's the same size as the Sun, but it's tiny compared to the Sun. And as we know, the Sun is 400 times bigger than the Moon, and it's 400 times further away. So I just put here 400 times Sun, 400 times bigger than the Moon, and the Sun is also 400 times further away. Not further away there. Sorry about that. But so the Sun is 400 times bigger than the Moon, and the Sun is also 400 times further away. The Sun is 400 times further away than the Moon. That's why. So the Moon's nearer to us, and it looks like it's covering. That's why it looks like it's it blocks the Sun's light when it's dark in the day if there's a solar eclipse. I just wanted to say that to you. Yeah, I've covered a lot of things today. Oh yeah, I wanted to say one more thing as well. The glycolysis, it's when one glucose molecule is split into two molecules of pyruvate, isn't it? Something like that. That's the glycolysis, isn't it? When one glucose molecule is split into two molecules of pyruvate. Thank you very much, and I hope you've enjoyed what I've been talking about over the last whatever time I've been chatting to you about science, and I hope I've made it easier for you and try to teach you, in an interesting way, and stuff that you're not sure about, and try to make science fun. That's what I've been trying to do. I don't know whether I've achieved that or not. Anyway, I'm going to go now, but if you like what I'm talking about, could you subscribe? It'd be very kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you.